Hey everyone, it's Renee here. I have a client that I'm helping with building funnels, and she asked me about how to create a workflow inside ClickFunnels. And even though we walked through on the call how to do it, I wanted to just create a short video showing you how to create a workflow inside ClickFunnels. Let me get back into my workspace. Okay. How to create a funnel workflow inside of ClickFunnels. Workflow, email automation, follow up when someone opts into your funnel. So, first of all, we have tons of apps here. They come with ClickFunnels. So you pick your automations app and it'll be in your sidebar here. You would hit the word workflows. This is how you add automations in that are supposed to trigger right when your funnel is opted into or whatever trigger you add to it. So we're going to add a workflow. And I have access to some templates being in a certification program. I don't know if you guys all get these, but if not, I'm just going to show you how to do it from scratch because you may not have access to this. I think only certain people have this. So start from scratch. First of all, we got to name the workflow. So let's say we are going to add it to lead magnet opt-in fun. Run the type. We'll keep it like it is. Create workflow. We're going to call it that. And it's going to open. So the first thing we got to do is set a trigger. The trigger is what is going to be the thing that triggers off and starts this workflow. So lead magnet, so opt-in is going to be the trigger. I'm going to use AirPod Buddy. You can set it up for a certain page, but not necessary. But if you wanted to trigger from a certain page, you would put that page here. But let's just say this earpod funnel. Save the changes. Now we got the workflow that's going to trigger the funnel. We got the trigger that's going to start the workflow. First thing we got to do is tag it. You want to give a way to identify the people that have opted in to this certain funnel. So the first thing I do is I tag the contact with the name of the funnel. And we're going to call it I think I already got it in there. AirPod Buddy. Let's say opt-in. First thing it's going to do is tag these people. Oops, I didn't do it. Settings. By the way, you have to type the blue pod buddies opt. You have to hit this blue button here in order for it to save it. See, it has to be there for it to save it. So now we are tagging them. The minute they come through the workflow, they have to opt into the funnel. Once they opt in, they're going to get a tag that says their earpod funnel opt-in. Then we are going to add our first email. Send email. You're going to make a new email. I call it email 1, let's say. Put anything in the subject line till you go back and edit it. Depending on how many emails you want, you would add a delay of however long. Usually for a welcome series, I add 1 day delay. So what it's saying is they opt in. They're going to get tagged as an earpod buddy opt-in. Then they're going to get email 1. You want to go in and set the settings for email 1 and add your paragraph text. I usually like to add an image. But then you put your paragraph text. I don't have any, but let's just throw this in there for now. So you put your paragraph text, put a picture if you want. Great. So you can add also too, right here's content. You can add buttons if you want them to click and go somewhere else. And the settings in the button, you would add the URL right there. Okay, so that's email 1. We're going to save it. Now we're going to go back. I usually make it all in one, so email 1 is there. We're going to add, it's going to delay for 1 day before it sends email 2. Send email 2. Oh no, it says that's an asset. That's the wrong one. Okay, we're going to hit that plus sign, add send email, not send asset. What I like to do is always pull the previous email that I just did, that one that says email 1, so I can just copy it and keep the same format throughout. Make sure you go back in and change your subject lines and pre-headers. Before creating the email process, I want to get it done. That's in the settings. You would change the subject line in the pre-header, but this email is email 2. I like a welcome series to be about 3 emails. So we got day delay. So we're going to put a delay of 2 days so that email 3 won't shoot off for at least the 2 days after they opt in. So we need a delay button. There's a lot of other things like notify. I usually have it notify me, especially if it's a lead. Notify me that somebody came in, goes to my cell phone and my email, but we need a delay right now. Triggered delay. We're going to call this a 2-day delay. So if you look at the workflow, we have email 1, email 2 after a 2-day, hold on. Okay, email 1. Okay, yeah, then email 2. Then email 3 won't go out for 2 days after they opt in. So let's go back to the top. Like I said, I usually try to just, so it stays consistent, grab the previous email, and then I edit it for email 3. Make sure you add a subject line pre-header in your emails that you want them to respond to. It's going to create the email. Now, as you can see, we have a 3-step email flow, or not a 3-step, but a 3 email flow. Now, the way you edit the emails, see how it says edit? Settings is where you set the subject line and the pre-header, but you want to change the actual email. This is how you edit it. As you can see, your emails are on the side now, and you can go back and forth between each email, and you can go in and make the edited emails, do what you want with that. I also suggest in the content that you add a social media bar to it. Put your social media links in there. What's another thing I like to add? If I want to add a video, you can add a video into the email. I'm not doing that right now. But once you do that, there's one other thing you have to do. Let me save that. Make sure you guys save. I've done whole email processes. So you can literally go between each email so you don't have to and read. Now keep in mind, I just made duplicates, so I got to go in and edit each of these and make it for email 2 and then email 3. Now let's go back. Important. See this little but thing that says the workflow is disabled, will not run until you enable it. 2 places you can enable it, right here or right here. You go into settings, turn this button on, update the workflow. Now this thing is active. So when somebody logs into my earbud funnel, let's see, I haven't been in this funnel in ages. I made this like a couple years ago. AirPod. There it is. So your funnel that workflow will be attached to You want to attach it to the funnel. You created it on the side. And this is the funnel we used. I mean, the workflow we created. So I would select it and add it to the funnel. And it's opt-in, attach workflow. Now, see, it's active. The workflow is there. And literally, you can look at the workflow just to check and make sure it's the right one. And here's the workflow, email 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all there. I mean, 1, 2, 3. Always 2. I have a different thing that I do, but right here, make sure you put end of end, or you can trigger another workflow. But what I like to do is, because sometimes I literally add to the workflows and I don't want it to hit email 3 and then just stop without, and then not be able to add another email into the workflow. Hold on, what's going on here? So what I do is I add a plus sign. Hold on, let me get this right. I froze my computer up. Okay, so I'm gonna turn that off because I really don't want that going to that funnel. But okay, so here's the emails, here's the triggers, email 1, blah 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 blah. Forgot what I was gonna do. Email 1, 2, 3. Oh, at the end, I just do this. I put a delay for 364. This is just me. You can put an end to the workflow. But if I want to go in and add more emails to this workflow at a later date, I want to have it indefinite kind of open. So I add 365 days to a delay. And then that way, if I want to go back and add an email, I'll add it here, move the delay to the bottom. So it won't look like that it ended the workflow. So I can always add in more emails if I want. Or if I don't, it just stops right there. But that's how you set up a workflow. If you have any more questions, please feel free to hit me up on my social media, anywhere that you can find me. I'm all over the place. So hope this helps. Bye-bye.